We're live again, baby! Woo! Another great episode of Dynamite tonight. An entire weekend of people talking about shit they know nothing about with this whole Sasha Banks Naomi thing. I'm not even going to talk about them because I don't even fucking care. That's the last you're going to hear about it. Until they come out and say something, nobody gives a shit. Great episode of Dynamite. Let's get this show started, shall we? All right, here we go. Wow. Another fantastic show. Welcome, episode 17. Smells like Wrasslin. Your host here, Cologne, coming at you again. If you guys have not noticed the extra activity on the channel, yes, we're doing some gaming streaming. We've been doing some Fortnite and some Halo. Last night, Destiny. Tonight, after tonight's show, the stream will be going up again for some more Destiny. I believe we're in, I don't know what season we're in, season 17 or something like that, but, you know. But yeah, a great week. Like I said, the only real things to talk about in terms of the Sasha Naomi thing is that they were absolutely buried on SmackDown the other night. But whatever, man. We like whatever. They're gonna be frozen in their contracts. They're never gonna be released. And they're just gonna, I don't know. And out of the two of them, the only one that really lucked out was Sasha because there's nothing stopping her from using her own name and going into Hollywood and doing shit. Whereas Naomi is what? Somebody. Anywho, the build to Double or Nothing. Tonight was the go-home show, final night of the build for this Sunday's pay-per-view. And they had a lot of work to do, you know? They had to hype people a lot. I mean, to be quite honest, like me, they didn't need to sell me on much anything. I was going to get Double or Nothing no matter what. I mean, the matches were going to be awesome regardless. You know, again, you know, there are some, like, things in the booking that are questionable in terms of the builds and getting people excited for certain things, but I don't know. Let's go with the show. We'll talk about it as we go on. So tonight took place in Las Vegas, which is also going to be the locale for Sunday's pay-per-view, Double or Nothing. Stacked card tonight. Bunch of fun stuff happened. Tonight was, let's see, we had Private Party versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. We had FTR versus Roppongi Vice for the ROH tag titles. We had a face-to-face with Hangman and CM Punk. We had a triple threat match between Jungle Boy, Swerve Strickland, and Ricky Starks. And then we had a promo from Thunder Rosa. We had the cage match between Shawn Spears and Wardlow. And then we had the last two matches in the Owen Hart tournament for both the men and the women. On the women's side, Toni Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And then on the men's side, we had Samoa Joe and Kyle O'Reilly. So on paper, tonight was a pretty solid night of wrestling, you know what I mean? A lot of crazy shit. Process, Doom in the chat. What's going on, brothers? So here we go. The night started off with the cage match. I thought the cage match was great. I was 100% waiting for Wardlow to bust out of the handcuffs, and that finally came out, so I felt vindicated. MJF came out looking like a complete and total herb. He had like skin tight ass biker shorts on, sneakers, and like a Burberry striped sleeveless wrestling shirt that was like skin motherfucking tight. It was absolutely embarrassing, and I loved it. He looked like a complete and total asshole. Shawn Spears comes out as Shawn Spears. Wardlow comes out. MJF feigns not being able to find the handcuffs. They kind of beat the shit out of him for a little bit while he's handcuffed. Then MJF gets in Wardlow's face. Wardlow busts out of the handcuffs and starts laying into people. It becomes obvious that it's a 2-on-1 because MJF is laying in shots and Wardlow can't touch him. Otherwise, he's not going to get the match at the pay-per-view. So eventually, Spears leaves the cage, grabs a chair, goes to duff Wardlow in the head, and just destroyed MJF, like knocked him clean out. This allowed Wardlow to just demolish this dude with power bombs, and Bryce comes out. 1, 2, 3. Wardlow gets his match. So I thought this was actually very cleverly booked. It was actually a lot of fun. I did not think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, but the booking for this has been fantastic. Listen, Wardlow, this has to end with Wardlow winning. It has to end with Wardlow winning, and it has to end with MJF getting duffed by like 1,000,000 power bombs. I'm talking about, like, I keep on saying this, and I'm worried that they haven't mentioned the Casino Battle Royale. I mean, am I right or am I wrong? Isn't that supposed to be a part of, Double or Nothing? They're supposed to have a Casino Battle Royale, and like nothing's been mentioned. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't know, like, chat, please tell me, like, did someone promote this on the show? Because I don't remember them talking about the Casino Battle Royale. That makes me very worried about my MJF prediction, about how he's going to get a title shot. But, like, this had to happen. I don't know, but I haven't heard about it. I want to know what's going on. Anywho, so Wardlow, of course, wins. That should be a fantastically booked match. And I expect Wardlow to win and MJF just to get demolished. Let's see what else happened. We had the Jericho. So the Jericho Appreciation Society now just shoots fireballs at people backstage and lights their faces on fire. I mean, first off, it's obviously Jericho has gotten enough compliments that he lost a shit ton of weight and he has like washboard abs now, that he's letting them babies flaunt all the time. Good, because you look like a fat mess in like the first like 16 months of AEW, and you got your shit together. Good for you. Show him off. You should do it. Like, but now he's wearing like Young Bucks tight pants, and it's hysterical. Also, Jericho now just shoots fireballs at people, telling them he's a wizard. If he doesn't shoot a fireball at Double or Nothing, I'm gonna be so fucking disappointed. He has to do it. Fireballs from Jericho. This has to happen. So Hangman Page and CM Punk have a face-to-face. And to be quite honest, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, Punk is like, this is just business. I want the title. You're the guy who has the title. I have the record that allows me to go for the title. I called you out. You accepted my challenge, and we're going to fight. And Hangman Page is like, you're a piece of shit. I hate you. Now, basically, like, I had this feeling that Hangman was just going to, like, right when he was about to, like, have an opportunity to say something, like, really fucked up about Punk and drop a pipe bomb, he literally says in his promo, I could drop a pipe bomb, but I'm not gonna. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm like, fuck me, man. Can you be more of, like, a boring vanilla toast champion? Like, if you're not gonna give me exciting contenders, then give me an interesting champion. And Hangman just, like, puttered out. Again, this is not Hangman's fault. I say this every week. The quality of his contenders was the problem with his title reign. He deserved to have better quality contenders. Guys who had been built up, beat a bunch of notable people who you were like, shit, man, they might actually take the, you know what? Like, here's what I think. Every single champion, every single contender of a champion should make its fan base think, shit, man, are they really going to take the title off of Hangman already? Like, I don't know. Like, the last time I thought that was Danielson. That was the last time people were like, yo, man, like, imagine Danielson wins. Like, that could actually happen. Like, they could give Danielson the title, and he could just come in and just take out the new champ, and it'd just be a whole big thing, and he goes on a rampage. Like, people were actually saying that, you know? But Danielson was more of a believable guy to be like, he might actually beat Hangman. Like, Lance Archer, never thought he was going to beat Hangman. Never. Who else? Adam Cole? No. Yeah, thank you, Jordan. Yeah. Props to Jordan in the chat, who I'm still trying to get on as a fucking co-host on this show. But yes, he's 100% right. Hangman refuses to be like this confident champion. Like, he feels like, well, in real life, if I ever won anything that big, I'd kind of just be like, oh boy, man, I'm like, you know, I'm a fighting champion, but gee willikers, man, I got this thing, and wee. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see that from my champion. You know, like, I get, like, they want to, like, have real people be champions, and they want them to act real, but, like, there needs to be a, yeah, no, Jordan, I didn't, no, Archer, no way, and fuck, what did I think Lance Archer was going to win that belt? You know, they didn't even build Adam Cole as a viable person who I thought was actually going to win the belt. I'm like, no way they're going to just give Adam Cole the belt. No way. But, like, you know, he just refuses to be, and then he's like, listen, he pities him, but we don't know why. He says he doesn't think Punk has what it takes to be champion because of the little moments. Okay. You know, all this guy's been talking about is his love for the business and the journey and all this shit. So, like, and he's like, I'm going to be defending AEW from Punk. I'm like, none of it makes any sense. I have no idea what's going on. Just Punk is the only legitimate challenger that they had for Hangman. They've built up no sort of storyline to connect Hangman and Punk, aside from the fact that Punk's been winning a lot. He wanted a title shot. Hangman just happens to be the champ at that moment, and that was it. Nothing is personal about this. And yeah, Punk is 100% right. There's nothing personal about this. It's only business. You're the champ. They asked me to, you know, be the number one contender, and I said, yeah, blah, 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 and I'm going to fight you to the end. Like, who cares? But Punk might actually win this because they built his ass up. And to be honest, I don't know where the rest of Hangman's reign is going. Unless, like, they're going to stick with my original booking theory and that Hangman was going to remain champ and be a super over babyface, and the only one that he was going to lose to was going to be MJF. But, like, now you got Punk, who's a mega over babyface, who might arguably be even a bigger babyface than Hangman, challenging Hangman for the title. And, like, it can't just be, like, if they were just both like, shake hands, we like you, we're good guys, we're not going to be dicks to each other, it's going to be fair and square. Like, that's boring. You know what I mean? Punk going heel, not going to happen. Hangman going heel, not going to happen. So it's like they had to think of some overall compelling reason. Like, I would have believed it if Hangman was like, listen, like, people have been giving me shit my entire title reign. I go and I beat, and he should put over every guy that he fought. Oh, I faced Lance Archer, who's a multi-time champion in New Japan, and he's fucking gigantic, and he's a murderer, and blah, blah, blah. And I beat Adam Cole, who's won titles in every division. And I beat this guy, and I still get no respect. And like, he's like, I beat Bryan Danielson, arguably one of the best in the world. I still get no respect. I beat Kenny Omega, who people think is the best in the world. I still get no respect. And he's like, I'm tired of it. He's like, when I beat you, it's going to be, this should have been Hangman's thing. If I beat you, CM Punk, it would have been undeniable. There would have been no more legends left. There would have been no more, like indie darlings in this company. I would have beaten them fucking all. And that would have been it. And then it just would have been more about Hangman proving himself and him growing a pair of balls. And then you know what? Then it finally builds up to him versus MJF, and Hangman's got some fucking bass in his voice. And there's no more unsure, anxious millennial cowboy. No, this guy's beat the best in the world. He defended it for an entire year. And this pissant upstart MJF, who everyone hates, has got a shot at the belt. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. If this was WWE Jordan 100%, it would be like, it's the fans who don't believe in me. You know, the fans. But you know what? Like, it would have called out Hangman's haters, and it would have shown light on the people who have supported him and been like, listen, this is our guy since they started this build in the beginning of AEW. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been a more, but instead, he's like, there are things about you that kind of make me angry. They don't make me hate you. I kind of like feel a little sorry. I could say mean things, but I'm not gonna. I'll see you on Sunday. That's the build. Punk will win. It'll be a thing. Maybe he'll fight Hangman again and have a really awesome match, and then whatever, and he'll win again. And then we'll deal with the same kind of thing that every champion that AEW has had. And people are going to say that, that Hangman run began when he lost the first inaugural match to Jericho, Doom. This was the beginning of Hangman's, like, title reign story, was him losing. And then it built on. So yeah, since they started AEW. Watch what's gonna happen. Watch. People are gonna be like, oh man, like Punk just has this boring reign. Like what? Like Punk's like don't be surprised. Like Punk fights guys like Powerhouse Hobbs. Maybe he fights Wardlow. Like he's gonna fight a giant. He's gonna fight somebody, like maybe he'll fight Adam Cole. Adam Cole will challenge again and not win. Like he's just gonna fight guys until he fights MJF, and it's the match everyone wants. You know, I don't expect Punk to have a very long title reign. I expect Punk to hold the title until All Out in Chicago, and then he loses to MJF. Because MJF is then going to have like a year-long title reign of him just shitting on everybody. And it's going to lead all the way up into 2024 when his title's going to go out. And they might even make that as part of the story. And he may even I don't know. He could leave the company as champion and just like ditch the belt and like still go to WWE, but like kind of give Tony the rub and be like, thanks for everything, Tony, but I'm moving on kind of deal. Like there's a lot of things that they could do. Well, I mean Punk versus Joe for the title, but like eventually that could only happen if Joe is no longer the ROH television title champ. Because I don't know if it should be about a guy trying to hold two belts. But I could see it happening. But, like, how many guys are you going to have beat your ROH television champion? You know what I mean? Like, there's a strong possibility the ROH TV champ is going to lose on Sunday to Adam Cole. You know? It's a strong possibility. I think it's going to happen because they've been playing up that arm injury ever since he got attacked by Jay Lethal. But I don't know. We'll see. What was I saying? So, like, yeah, like, I just, I don't know. But, like, tell me this, guys. Right now, let's say Punk wins on Sunday. Name 3 guys. Everyone in the chat, name 3 guys that are built up and positioned right now that could be a viable contender to take the belt off of CM Punk in his next title defense. 3 guys. 3 guys. I want to hear everyone's suggestions. I'm curious. Because I think that might be a little bit of a solid barometer as to how well all these guys have actually been built up in terms of being championship contenders. Anywho. They do a video package trying to hype Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay, but they can't hype me for that match because there's no way in fuck Anna Jay wins. I don't know how she deserved the title shot. I really kind of hope that Jade just squashes her in 5 seconds and that's pretty much it. There are a lot of matches on that show. Jade destroying somebody can only help her out. Anna Jay could kind of get the drop, but like, yeah. Okay, MJF, but like, that's it. Moxley's in feuds. He has no desire for the title. Samoa Joe already has a belt. He doesn't even want that belt. And Hook is playing patty cake with Danhausen. Now, I'm talking about guys who are just like, shit, man, they're on a roll. Like, they might actually, they could actually challenge for the world title. And technically an argument could be made that it's not MJF, because MJF's been getting punked for a while now. But he's playing the heel that's supposed to get punked, so I get, that I get that. You know what I mean? Like, I like how they book him as a heel. He is going to lose to Wardlow. I mean, that's definite. They do exist. They do exist, Jordan, because they have a 10-man match at the pay-per-view. They have t-shirts. They exist. They exist because the trios tournament is coming after Double or Nothing. That's my prediction. I'm telling you this, bro. Come on. The Blackpool Combat. So Danielson, Moxley, and Yuta. Imagine them against, Death Triangle. Imagine them against the Super Click. Imagine them against House of Black. Imagine them again. There's like okay, like I get that you want to see guys like Danielson like fight for titles and have these awesome singles matches, but like the matches that they're gonna have in a trios context are gonna be awesome. Like Danielson's doing it all, dude. He's doing it all. He's in factions. He's doing singles, tags, trios, 5-mans. The man's one of the greatest of all time. And he looks awesome doing all of it. All of it. Like, who knows if we're ever going to see this Danielson again after his contract is up with AEW. Because him and Punk signed 3-year contracts. Which means, like, 2024 is going to be, like, a big-ass year for, AEW. Because, like, a lot of big-name talent could just go, unless Tony wants to either pay them more money or they're like not asking for more, but they're looking to extend their contracts. Like that's some crazy shit, man. To have MJF, CM Punk, and Bryan Danielson all end up leaving the company at the same time. Shit, man. That's wild. Anywho, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston defeated Private Party. It was a tag team match. I like Private Party. I miss Private Party. I wish they were doing, like, more things that were involved in the tag team division, because I think they're a good tag team. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see, feuds I would have loved to have seen them in is, like, them versus Top Flight, them versus, like, Hookhausen, them versus, like, Gun Club, them versus The Acclaimed. There's a lot of cool... it's a strong possibility, dude. We got Jordan in the chat saying that he thinks Bryan might go to WWE. He could go back, man. He could have been like, hey, I had my fun, and now I'm going to spend the rest of my career having a Roman schedule, making like $10 million a year. Yeah, I think so. It's a strong possibility. I mean, unless he feels like he wants to do more, and he's like, listen, I like this. I'm making good money, like. But if it comes down to money, which it usually comes down to, and it comes down to ease of schedule, you think Vince, how happy Vince would be to sign, get Daniel Bryan back from AEW? Oh, totally. What are we talking about here? Starks, Jungle Boy, Allen. Yeah, I mean, they can jump into the main event, but do you actually think they're going to... Do you think any of those guys could just beat CM Punk in the next 30 days? No, absolutely not. If I told you, listen, Orange Cassidy is going to fight CM Punk at the main event at Blood and Guts, I'm not saying it's going to be in a Blood and Guts match. I'm just saying it's going to be on that night, right? You think Orange Cassidy's walking out with the belt? You're going to go, if you were to put money on it, you would say, like, yo, Orange Cassidy's beating Punk. Like, that's it. They gave Punk, like, they're going to just shock us. Cassidy's the guy I could feel. No one's going to say that. None of those guys are guys yes, they are guys that could jump into the main event, but those are also guys that Punk is going to beat and people aren't going to really care. Oh, 2024? Oh, well, yeah, I mean, hey, listen, like, that's why you have a deep talent pool right now. Because when those big name guys leave, there's going to be a big void on television. And you could fill that with guys like, that, like, people that Doom are mentioning. Like a Ricky Starks or, Darby Allin, Darby Allin, I'm letting you guys know right now, he's the guy who's going to be taking the belt off of MJF. That's going to be the guy. He's going to be the one to take the belt off of MJF. And then after that, it's well, no, man, your messages are spread out all over the place. It could have meant anything. God damn it. Anywho, I think that, yeah, that's going to be the guy it's already been, like, the foundation's already set between them two. You know what I mean? It's going to be Darby. He's going to be the one to do it. And it's going to be the biggest fucking pop ever. Definitely. So after Moxley and Kingston beat Private Party, basically there was a gigantic brawl, and that's pretty much it. I'm not really excited for that match. I feel like it should have been at Blood and Guts. But now it's like it's just going to be a 5-man, like, all these guys just doing crazy shit. I hope I'm entertained, but I'm going into the match with low expectations. I'm not. I might just, like, chill out and smoke a bowl while that's happening. Video package hyped up the semifinal matches for tonight. Caprice Coleman joined commentary for the ROH Tag Championship match. I thought this was a great tag match. I like Roppongi Vice and I love FTR. I'm just a little bit surprised and bummed out that it ended in a DQ. I mean, AEW never has DQs, especially in title matches, and they did that so they could promote, like, the Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb, who are, like, two guys in a faction with Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, who has, like, a kidney infection or something and is, like, has 104 fever and is like miserable right now. I'm like, holy shit, like, okay. Like, I just feel like a bowl, Doom, a bowl of weed, a bowl of marijuana. I just thought, like, all right, I felt like they could have just had FTR win clean and then be jumped by the United Empire after, but, it is what it is. Let's see what else we got here. Hardy Brothers basically cut a promo, pretty much the same promo that they've been, I know it's setting up the Forbidden Door match, but I'm like, at the expense of FTR, like, having, like, a good, clean victory under, like, a very notable tag team. Like, Roppongi Vice is, like, multiple time, like, IWGP tag champs. So it's like, I would have liked FTR to had that, feather in their cap as to beating them. And instead it just ends in a DQ so they could push United Empire. They should have just got jumped after the match and gave FTR the clean win. I wouldn't have seen anything wrong with that. Roppongi Vice has been losing matches in AEW all the time, but, like, they're still respected. I don't know. I wouldn't have booked it like that. Infection. Doom. Kidney infection. I thought it was a liver infection, but I think someone told me it was kidneys. So yeah, I mean, listen, I always thought that the Hardys were going to have this, like, build to them fighting the Bucks, and then, like, they were going to retire. I mean, I did feel like there was a little bit of a hint of retirement in Jeff, because he was like, like, at the end of our careers, like, maybe sometime down the road eventually. I'm like, what the fuck? But, like, they're going to do it. They're going to just have the Hardys versus the Bucks. I mean, to be quite honest, I mean, I don't know if the Hardys' bodies could last much longer, so I'm not surprised that it was, like, I thought it was going to be, like, I knew it was going to be fast. I just didn't think it was going to be that fast, that they were going to do it within, like, what? Like, Jeff's been in the company for, what, about, like, 40, 45 days? Jesus. I mean, is it going to be part of a series? Is it going to be, like, the Hardys could have won, the Bucks, like, pull some screw job and, like, blatantly cheat to win? That leads to them having a second match where, like, the Hardys pull the fast one on the Bucks and then they win, and then they do a third match and they're like, listen, if we beat you guys are done. Like you guys could never like you guys. I want you guys to. We're gonna put our. It's gonna be a career match. They're gonna put their careers on the line. The Bucks and the Hardys. Like that's if they're gonna do this now. The only way I could see it being a satisfying payoff is it be a trilogy of matches, with the final match being that both teams put their their careers on the line, and then the Bucks win and the Hardys retire. Otherwise, like like I don't know what they're doing, but we'll see what happens. I would have drawn this out. So the only reason I'm like giving this the benefit of the doubt is because I think booking them to have this match so early and just having the one match is such a bad idea. The only possible reason why they're having it is because it's the beginning of some larger story that they're going to run between the two tag teams. And hey, it gives the Bucks something to do, you know? Because then that means while Omega's gone, if they're going to have a trios tournament, then you could have Cole and Red Dragon be a trio and not have to worry about like what the Bucks are going to do. You know what I mean? The Bucks could just be feuding with the Hardys, and then, then you have the Undisputed Elite have their trios team. So that would be that's what happens when you need to know. So I don't. Oh, what? I guess you're harkening back to when Seth was talking about what would be a horrible idea. Nothing I said I think would be a horrible idea. The only horrible idea I think with them just having this one match and the Bucks win and that's it. And like that's the last time you see the Bucks and the Hardys fight each other. Like that would be a horrible idea. What do you call it? They do three. Okay, so this three-way match was awesome. I mean, how could it not have been? Strickland versus Jungle Boy versus Ricky Starks. I thought it was an awesome match. I think that this three-way tag match is going to be kind of cool. Like I don't see how it could be a bad match. I hope Starks and Hobbs come away with the victory. I feel like more than likely it's going to be Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are going to win. And I think that's going to be their last big win before they, I think, lose their next title defense. And then Jungle Boy goes into a singles program against Christian. But yeah, it was a good match. What is it? What do we call it? Yeah, I mean, listen, if the Bucks win with if the Bucks win with a screw job finish, then okay, I don't see. All right, so then not end the second match in the screw job, but definitely have the second match end with the Hardys winning, and then the Bucks go, listen, like you've won one, we've won one, then let's do a third match for all the marbles. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't do two screw jobs, but I definitely would have. But like, if they're not gonna, if this is just one part of a larger story, I hope it's one part of a trilogy. And let's say the trilogy ends, like, let's say they have a match building up to, like, let's say, you could have them have the second match at All Out, and then have the third match at Full Gear. You could do that. And have a Bucks Hardys match for each of those pay-per-views. That gives the Hardys something to do, gives the Bucks something to do. It gives a great match for the fans on each of those pay-per-views, and it does a larger story. You could satisfy the long-term storytelling. I think that could happen. I do think I don't want Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to win. Like, I feel like the end of their title run has come. It's just only a matter of time. If I had my choice between the three tag teams, I would choose Hobbs and Starks, because I think Hobbs and Starks are phenomenal. But I just have this feeling that Jurassic Express is going to come away with the win. Let's see what else. We got Thunder Rosa promo. She didn't have her, like, the half face paint, which I thought was pretty cool. It was tough to come at Deeb and like be like, this is your fault, like these are your choices, like you have no one to blame but yourself, when she basically talked about how like she was like getting like breast implants just so she could get a spot on TV and get her head shaved, you know what I mean? Like, Deeb's promo painted herself as like a victim, and then Rosa just blamed her. So, I mean, I would have, if I were Rosa, I would have given, props. I would have had empathy for the things that Deeb did, but then just be like, but it doesn't give you an excuse to be like a disrespectful piece of shit to my mentor and myself, and like, I'm gonna take you out. Like, you could have acknowledged the shit that happened, because Rosa does, like, her character is a big, like, standing up for women's wrestling shit. So, like, she could have been able to do both. She could have been someone of honor and just be like, yo, you disrespected my people, I'm going to whoop your ass. But also, like, I saw what happened to you. That sucks, and I'm working to make a division that, like, that kind of shit doesn't happen. But, like, that doesn't matter. You crossed the line. Like, you don't get a free pass just because you had, good intentions. So, but, that's how they ran. That's how they rolled with it. Is it going to be a good wrestling match? Absolutely. Is Thunder Rosa going to win? Absolutely. If Deeb wins, I'd be shocked. Deeb is actually someone who they built up, who I'm like, shit, man. Imagine they actually, like, gave the belt to Serena Deeb and took it off of Rosa like a month in. Like, that would be wild. So, I don't know. Maybe. Red Velvet was backstage. She was pissed off about losing in the tournament, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So Statlander is supposed to be fighting Ruby Soho to decide who's gonna fight Britt Baker, who won tonight in the finals. So yeah, it was Britt Baker versus Toni Storm. It was a match. It was a match. It was all right, It's just tough. Like, there wasn't really as much build between them. I mean, you could tell the reason why they were doing all those video promos and backstage segments is because they were trying to build up and make this match into something. And, like, technically, yeah, I mean, like, Toni Storm's a notable name, and, like, Britt Baker is Britt Baker, so. But, like, I found myself just kind of, like, in and out of the match. Like, I just couldn't get invested into it, so. But, I mean, hey, listen, like, outside the confines of a tournament, like, they have so many avenues for good storylines to, like, reinvest my interest as a fan into watching these two women wrestle again and put on a good match, because I think that they can. But I think sometimes it's just tough on television to do that, and especially since, like, the momentum gets broken up, because, like, you get taken in and out with the commercial breaks and the picture-in-picture. So, I feel like all the really good matches are just on pay-per-views. It's really hard to have a good television match, you know what I mean? Because, just commercials just suck you right out. That was one of the things I liked about NXT. They never had any commercials. Like, all the matches were uninterrupted. So if someone had a 10-minute match, it was a 10-minute match, It wasn't like a 10-minute match with 7 minutes of wrestling because you had 3 minutes of commercials. You know what I'm talking about? So, I don't know. So Britt Baker wins. It was a cheap win because, they had Hayter due to distraction or whatever. So, like, obviously something's going to be going on with them. So, we'll see. I'm curious as to who's going to win that Statlander-Soho match, because Baker and Soho have already fought each other. Like, they fought each other at Grand Slam, and Soho lost. Statlander already fought Britt Baker also. You know what I mean? She lost at Revolution. No, was it Revolution? No, she lost that All Out. She lost at the All Out that Punk debuted. So, I don't know. Either of them win. They both lost against Britt. Unless one of them is going to be poised to beat Britt, then that's going to make them pretty much an odds-on favorite to be a title contender for TNT or TBS. So, and if Statlander wins, she's already kind of thrown some shade at Jade Cargill, so that could actually happen. Anywho, so the lineup for Rampage, as it stands right now, is Soho versus Statlander to find out who's going to fight Britt Baker. Young Bucks are going to be in action. We have no idea who they're fighting. And Bryan Danielson versus Matt Sydal, which should be a really entertaining match. The double or nothing lineup as it stands. The buy-in, we have Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. The AEW the world titles on the line. Hangman Adam Page versus CM Punk. We have the AEW Women's World Championship is on the line. It's going to be Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. You have the AEW World Tag Team Championships being defended in a 3-way. It's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, the champions, versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, and Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. We got TBS championship is on the line. Jade Cargill's defending against Anna Jay. You have the Young Bucks versus the Hardys. You have Death Triangle versus House of Black, which is my prediction to be match of the night. We have Anarchy in the Arena, which is the Jericho Appreciation Society versus Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, Jon Moxley, and Bryan Danielson. We have MJF versus Wardlow. If Wardlow wins, he gets free of MJF's contract. If he loses, he can never sign a contract with AEW again. And then we have the finals for the Owen Hart Cup, which based on the end of tonight's match is going to be Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe. And the finals for the women, which we'll know how that's going to shape up once Rampage airs or once the spoilers from Rampage come out. Main event of the night was Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, of course, it was going to be an awesome match. They beat the ever-loving shit out of each other. They definitely played up the arm victory with Joe. It worked out because, Kyle O'Reilly is a submission specialist. You had Joe with a weak limb, so they were going to go after it. Obviously, I think Adam Cole's going to go after the limb as well. I think that's going to be the out for Joe losing. That was because, we all knew he didn't go. We all know he's not going in to that match at 100%. So it protects Joe, gives Adam Cole the push. And who knows, maybe it sets him up for a match between him and CM Punk, who I obviously think is going to win the match at Double or Nothing. Because, listen, even if Adam Cole doesn't win, an Adam Cole CM Punk storyline would be awesome. And to be quite honest, I don't think these guys are going to be here that much longer. So if they have to get them in these storylines now, because I'm pretty sure Punk is at, we're almost going on year 2 of his 3-year contract. So, obviously you kind of want to get these dream matches out of the way now and see these matches happen now. And just some of these matches we might just have to enjoy for the sake of the fact that they're actually happening and not expect one person or another to win. At least that's what I'm starting to realize with AEW right now. So it may be something just having to just change my expectations. And that's it. After the match, Adam Cole came down and had a stare down with Samoa Joe, and that was pretty much it. So, yeah, that was the show. That was the go-home show for Dynamite, headed into the pay-per-view this week. It's going to be a fun pay-per-view. To be honest, there really aren't going to be any bad matches. Maybe the Anna Jay and Jade Cargill match, but, it should be a night of entertaining matches. I'm curious as to see what's going to happen. I'm curious to see if there are any surprises in store. There are definitely going to be some matches that are going to be freaking incredible. The tag match, the trios match. The Hangman Page and CM Punk match it's going to be a great match, especially since, to be honest, I don't know which way the fans are going and which way people think this is actually going to be booked. So, the finals matches for the Owen Hart tournament, those could go either way. Those should be very good. It's gonna be a fun pay per view. It's gonna be good. I'm excited to see it. But yeah. That's pretty much the show for tonight. I'm going to end a little early tonight. We're going to have a 15-minute buffer. And then the next show that's going to happen on this stream is going to be myself and my buddy Dan going into Destiny tonight. Him building up his builds. I'm just starting the season, building up my Titan. I am a Void Titan in a Solar 3.0 world, so we'll see how that goes with that. So if you guys are interested and enjoy our conversation and banter as we play, stay tuned. About 10-15 minutes from now, we'll be signing up. So just, if you're subscribed to the channel, just keep an eye on your alerts. Once we log on, we will log on. Sometimes it's tough because my buddy sometimes cannot. Jordan, the final build for that happened on Rampage. So there was no build for that trios match on Dynamite. They did that at Rampage. They House of Black won against Fuego del Sol and Dark Order. And at the end of the match, Death Triangle came out and Penta revealed a tombstone and it said Double or Nothing and House of Black on it. So that was the build. That was the end of that build. I don't think they did anything tonight on Dynamite. But, but anyways, guys, stay tuned on the channel for some streaming. We appreciate you guys supporting. We had actually great viewership in the chat tonight. Really good conversation. Jordan, thank you as always for watching and participating. I always think the chat's enriched with you in it because you bring up some really good points. Doom, pretty much the most loyal viewer that we have. Appreciate you, bud. Thank you. I saw Process make an appearance as well. Process, thank you very much. Hope everything's going well with you guys. And I will see you guys later tonight for Destiny. And if not, if you're just here for the wrestling show, I will see you guys after Dynamite next week, next Wednesday. So, signing off, guys. Thank you very much. Take care. If anyone's still watching right now, the gaming podcast is going to be on a slight delay. So it won't be 15 minutes from now. So any of you guys on the East Coast who I guess are insomniacs and Nighthawks like I am, you'll definitely see me on in a bit, but not the 15 minutes as intended. Stay tuned into your alerts, and it'll let you know when I log on. I'll see you guys